Hey everyone, and welcome to my Call of Duty tier list. I know you guys have been dying to see this list and been asking me all the fucking time. Don't worry, I got you. So what I've done here is I've split this up into categories. I got my favorite, the best category, okay, bad, what I think is the second worst, and then the absolute worst Call of Duty. And then you got the never played. I already filled these up with Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, and Black Ops 4. Didn't really bother with Call of Duty 1, 2, 3. They just don't really feel like going all the way that back. And I'm not a big fan of World War shooters as well, so most likely never play these. Black Ops 4, there's no campaign. Before I start, I'm one of those guys who plays Call of Duty for the campaign, not for multiplayer or the zombies or anything like that. I might dabble into those modes, but really I'm buying it for campaign. So this is mainly going to be a campaign-focused tier list. If I have any knowledge or experience, or whatever, in multiplayer or any other modes, I'll comment on that. But Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 4, did not have any campaign, so it did not bother. And so it's going to start the list off with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And definitely put this in the best one. What can you say about it? Just revolutionized the whole flippin' FPS genre. And campaign was solid. The Augury Up mission was amazing. So I had some good campaign missions. Great characters as well. Don't remember the multiplayer that much, but this is like a point where it just had, it's pretty basic, just guns and perks, and just like 3 kill streaks only. I think it was like the UAV, like an airstrike, and the helicopter, and that's it. But yeah, amazing game. It still holds up really. The remastered version as well, still great. And that brings us to World at War. And actually, people love this game, but I'm actually put this in the okay pile. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of World War shooters. I just don't think you can do much with it creatively. But out of all the World War shooters, this one's definitely the best. Definitely had some. The campaign was pretty good. The Russian side of things was easily the best part than the American side. What else can I say? Okay, it's introduced zombies, and what can I say about that? Zombies are great. Like zombies, I play a lot of zombies, even though it's just the one. That I didn't get any of the DLC, but the one map though was just the house and all that. That was really good as well. It was just like a side mode. Then it came like its own thing. Still had a lot of fun. And now we get to the beast that is Modern Warfare 2, which is everyone's favorite. It's not my favorite, but it was still really good when this came out. Remember in school, everyone just did not shut up about it. Everyone kept referencing it. And yeah, for good reason. Campaign, I say out of all the Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, this one definitely had the best campaign, had the best missions, had the best cast of characters, even the ones that had been established. Even better here. The multiplayer was the best as well. Probably my favorite multiplayer of all Call of Duty games. Even though I don't play much, I did play with my friends here, and to this day, there's still what they did for the multiplayer, like its weapons and kill streaks and attachments, whatever. Like the foundation for the multiplayer here is still being used for Call of Duty to this day. Maybe they might change like kill streaks to point streaks and that crap, but then they'll just go back to kill streaks. But yes, foundation is still used. And what else they had? They had Spec Ops as well, which was, they didn't have zombies, but they had Spec Ops, which was it's also pretty good. Good with when you're playing co-op. I think it wasn't online co-op or split screen co-op, but that's fine because I played with my brother as well on this. And yeah, Spec Ops was a lot of fun. Where you just play some small maps and just do like an objective, but like we do on veteran mode, and we just like it's really difficult. Once you beat it, feels so great. What's next is what came after that was Black Ops. Black Ops goes right in my favorite because this is my favorite Call of Duty game, and for a reason is great campaign, best story, best cast of characters. I like your character actually speaks this time and interacts with other characters. It has the best zombies of all the zombies. They gave you two maps like at launch, and I think one of them was unlockable. And then you also had Dead Ops the maps were great as well. Yeah, Dead Ops Arcade, which was, I think at first it was like a secret when you can actually bust out of your chair in the main menu and go to a terminal, type in a code, and then yeah, you get to play this other mode. And I think nowadays that mode is just available in the menus. But yeah, that was amazing. What else is there? The missions were solid as well. Great twist, and it was a sequel to World at War, which was unexpected. So that was great. And yeah, just everything about it. Like the multiplayer, again, didn't play it, but they had those other modes where they had COD points, where you actually had to buy your weapons and attachments instead of just leveling up. And they had those betting matches like gun game, or one in the chamber. I think there was like 4 of them. There's only 2 I know. But that wasn't bad. But I didn't play much of multiplayer. I also had, I think this is the one that introduced golden camos as well, which is another thing. I did not bother with that because that takes forever. But that was great. Now we have Modern Warfare 3. Kind of put this in the okay pile. I say of all the Modern Warfare campaigns, this is probably the weakest in my opinion. Still had some decent missions. Great ending to the trilogy. But at this point, I think this is where the fatigue started happening. I don't know if it happened earlier, but for me, yeah, this is where it hit for me as well. The multiplayer, didn't bother with that. There was still Spec Ops, which was also good, about the same level as Modern Warfare 2. But then they also had a survival mode as well, which is what it is. You just survive against AI bots, really, and yeah, that's it. So it's like zombies, just with instead of zombies, it's just like soldiers you gotta defend yourself from. And I just didn't like that mode. I think it was a bit crap, to be honest. Yeah, that's really all I can say. The campaign, the task force missions were great. I think when it deals with the Delta Force team, whatever side, I think that's usually the weakest part, because those missions are pretty. They're all like just in ruined cities like New York and like Paris and all that. I think they all start to look the same, but at least with the task force ones, they're actually different. So that's one of the big problems with the campaign that I had with Modern Warfare 3. Also with Modern Warfare 2, I forgot to mention, same thing with you with the Rangers and the task force. Task force missions are great. Rangers missions, they're also good, but not as unique or as good as the task force missions. But I think with Black Ops, I think all the missions were great. What's next after Modern Warfare 3 was Black Ops 2. Yeah, that's going in the best pile as well. This game, I think this here was the peak of Call of Duty. The Modern Warfare games and Black Ops 1 and 2 was the peak of Call of Duty, and ended with Black Ops 2. Great campaign, sequel to Black Ops. You had the future side, and you also had the past side with the thing as Vietnam again in Black Ops, and those were good. It wasn't like a hindrance, like, oh, going back all the way to the flashbacks of Vietnam, whatever. No, those were actually some of the best missions in the game. And so you get to play in both timelines, which is cool. The best villain in the series, Menendez. Characters are still great as usual. And yeah, this also introduced the choices where, depending on your actions during the campaign, actually shapes the story, which is something much different. And you actually get a different ending depending on all the choices that you've done. Maybe not all of them, but like the ones that matter. But still, that's something different that the other Call of Duties didn't do. And I welcome that. That was amazing. So, yeah, the multiplayer, did not bother with that. I think this is the one I Call of Duty in the campaign as well. You get to choose your own custom loadout, which was the first thing as well, which was pretty good as well. I like doing that. And there was the zombies. I did not like the zombies map. I think Transit was the map where you gotta take a bus around 5 different locations. I just didn't like that. Wasn't my favorite. But still, great campaign. That definitely goes in the best pile. What came off of that? Oh yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts. I actually put this in the okay pile. For the campaign, for the multiplayer, it's probably a different story altogether. But the campaign, I actually liked the campaign. It wasn't the best, wasn't terrible either. It was pretty good. Yeah, I think this is the last game that had those sort of cutscenes where it's like satellite views and the documents and the sort of intel thing that it does between missions. Black Ops 2 actually changed that a bit with the cinematics, but then went back to Ghosts. But yeah, then when it went back to Ghosts, had all that intel stuff, and then after that, all the cutscenes in the rest of the games are pretty much like cinematics, you know, like you see nowadays. And what else did I have to say? So yeah, campaign was pretty good. Pretty good villain as well. Cliffhangers that happened at the end, and probably never see a sequel to this game though. Unfortunately, I would like to see a sequel. Maybe after the Modern Warfare reboot stuff. Then I would like to see a sequel to it. But who knows? That's probably never gonna happen. What else? Multiplayer, I did not care. Heard it was the worst multiplayer because maps were too large and it was like Battlefield, which was not very Call of Duty-esque at all. So, and then there was the Aliens mode, and this was bad. It's similar to Zombies, where you have to survive waves, but it's Aliens, and there's an actual ending. You have to fight your way to the end, arm a nuke, and then escape. And I don't know why that was so flippin' difficult. Took me a few tries to actually get to the end there. But yeah, still wasn't that great. But yeah, tons of campaign, definitely okay. And what came after Advanced Warfare, and put this in the bad pile. Yeah, this game. I mean, this definitely, in terms of visuals, this definitely at the time looked like next gen. Cinematics look great. I still think the cinematics still hold up to this day. Forgettable characters. I know you got Kevin Spacey as the villain here. Probably the most memorable thing about the campaign. Still, I don't remember much about him though. Well, if there was that meme, press F to pay respects. I didn't really care for that meme, but yeah, that's one other thing to point out. But yeah, there's went back to that future setting with hover boots and shit, where you get to do a double jump. I don't think parkour was in this game yet. And yeah, I just can't remember. There wasn't very many memorable stuff about this game. The missions, I wasn't memorable either. I remember this game actually being too easy because you had smart grenades where you can just every grenade that you have, you pretty much have every single grenade, because you get to flick through like frag grenades, semtex, and so on. You get smart grenades, you throw it, and it automatically goes towards an enemy, and you can just keep doing that when you're near an ammo box, and then you pretty much beat the game. You also had those threat grenades as well, where it just shows you where every enemy is, and yeah, the game was actually one of the easiest because of that. Yeah, that's all I can say. No zombies mode in this one. They had like survival again from Modern Warfare 3. Fuck that. Wasn't that good. Multiplayer, didn't care for. Next is what came after. I think it was it called the No, it was Black Ops 3. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in second worst. This was absolutely disappointing when I played it. This used to be my absolute worst, but one of the newer Call of Duties came out and replaced it, and we'll get to that. But for now, Black Ops 3 campaign was just crap. It was needlessly complex, and it just kind of went off the wall, like with sort of powers and shit. Yeah, really bad. Forgettable characters, forgettable campaign. Missions were okay, like there was some variety, I guess, some fun to be had. But yeah, that's really all I can say. Multiplayer, didn't care for. Zombies was I can't remember the zombies. I mean, it's probably better than Transit, I think I remember, but that's about it. Like it wasn't too good. And yeah, but it was because the disappointing thing is that it came off. It has the Black Ops name. Black Ops 1 and 2, amazing. I was looking forward to this game because there's Black Ops in it. Third game, and it's just terrible. Like, it has nothing to do with Black Ops. It should have been called this, and Black Ops 4 should have been called something else because it has nothing to do with Black Ops. So yeah, terrible game. What's next? I think it was Infinite Warfare. Okay, yeah, Infinite Warfare. I actually put this in the okay pile. Like, this game, when it got announced, the trailer was like really like millions of dislikes. Looks like the worst Call of Duty. Like, it just went off the wall. But to be honest, that's actually why I like this game, because it's just absolutely insane. I don't think it was millions of dislikes bad. I think I actually had some fun with it. The campaign was enjoyable. Like, it was off the wall, like with space and going to different planets and all that, and it was just crazy. But that's why I like it, because it just kind of went all out like crazy, and that's why I enjoyed it. They also had some dogfights in this game in space as well, which I enjoyed. It also had side missions, like in Black Ops 2. I forgot to mention, there's also side missions in the game as well. I don't know if they impact the story, but I know one mission does, and one side mission does. But other than that, I don't know how the other ones impact it. But it had side missions, which definitely lengthened the game, which was pretty good because, like, I think all Call of Duty campaigns are short. So Infinite Warfare had those as well, which lengthened it, which is pretty good. I just had a good time, saving the world or whatever with your crew. So I enjoyed that. What else is there? The multiplayer. I think when we got to Black Ops 3, this one had the parkour stuff. This one pretty much had the same thing. It didn't have the powers or anything, but at least it wasn't as complex as Black Ops 3 with flipping AI and all that bullshit. This one, I can't remember that much, but all I know is I enjoyed it. Had some good fun with it. Had zombies as well. Zombies was not bad. Definitely better than Black Ops 3. Where you're in that sort of theme park, and the Easter egg was pretty fun. Very difficult, but once you get it done, it's really good. Me and my brother definitely had a very tense moment trying to complete the Easter egg, and it took hours, because we made a few mistakes, and it did cost us, but in the end we managed to make it, and it felt so damn good. The Infinite Warfare, I enjoyed it. What else was there? Next is, World War II, just in bad. Let's put this in bad. Like I said, don't like World War II games. Not much you can do with it creatively. Campaign wasn't good, forgettable. You had the whole, you had the whole team thing going on, team dynamic, where you're having a good time with your friends who you're trying to, who you're supposed to care about. I couldn't give a crap about them, and so that, that's what it was kind of the story was making you do, but it didn't work, and that just kind of ruined it for me. The missions were pretty World War basic. I don't know if they had if they had a plane mission, which I can't remember. I don't know if they had a tank mission. There was one memorable mission where you gotta sneak into this embassy or whatever, and you have to show your passports and memorize what's on the passport. It kind of reminded me of Medal of Honor a little, when you had to pretend to be an officer and flash your passport around. So I thought that was definitely the best part of the game, where it's not all guns shooting and all that, where you had to actually sneak in. That was good stuff. And they had the multiplayer. I did play a lot of multiplayer because I was trying to get the prestige, just to get the achievement. The war mode was okay at points, but man, if you got a bad play going on, like in the beach, D-Day beach, the D-Day level, you can just get screwed, because if you're in the attacking team and your team's not up to snuff, you're pretty much fucked right there. It's just so you just get flipping taken out before you even get to the flipping bunkers. And there was also another mission where you have to build a bridge to progress, and the only way to do that is to throw smoke and hopefully have enough time to build the bridge, because if not, you're just kind of sitting ducks. You have to be in the line of fire to build a bridge, so if you don't have smoke, you're kind of fucked, because everyone can just camp and just shoot you from higher ground. So some of the war mode levels were just a load of crap for attackers. And what else was there? Zombies. Zombies had that small house level, and it also had a bigger map. Zombies wasn't bad. I did the Easter egg, grouped up with some people who wanted to do it as well. I had some fun with that. So Zombies wasn't too bad. But other than that though, campaign was crap. Multiplayer really did not enjoy. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yes. Next came Modern Warfare in the best category. When we got to this game, man, actually it felt like playing the peak of Call of Duty again. It felt like your classic Modern Warfare. Felt like playing the Black Ops 1 and 2. Just felt like I got that enjoyment back from it, like I got when I played these games. This was a good game. Characters were good again. Story was great. Very brutal as well. Some of the missions are just damn. Where you get to play as you play as a kid who's pretty much sees their village or whatever gets slaughtered, and then you have to actually kill some people as well as the kid. And just it was messed up, but it was so good. Also had that's the best part about this game is the missions. They had the nighttime missions, like the cleaning house one that was so good, and there was also like an expanded version of that where you're in a big field where you had multiple objectives to go to, and you can take it silently or you can go guns blazing, but it's recommended you go silently, and it just feels so good just to take down an enemy silently, watch him go down quietly, and just as you go through the level, it just feels so good. I say out of all the Call of Duty since like Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard, because these three are trying to like build up a universe, sort of Call of Duty universe thing going on. In terms of visuals, Modern Warfare still to this day is probably the best looking modern Call of Duty game out of every Call of Duty, even better than the ones that have next gen upgrades. Still better looking than that. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Modern Warfare 2. Even though we've got this Call of Duty fatigue thing going on, still very much enjoyed that. Still looking forward to that. What else do they have? The multiplayer, didn't do that. What else they have? Spec Ops. Yeah, the Spec Ops wasn't like the Spec Ops from Modern Warfare 2 and 3. This was a different kind of Spec Ops. You play, co-op and all that, just to kind of do some missions, but they weren't really that memorable or that great. I don't think I played that much of it to really give a strong opinion. That's about it. Also had Warzone, which another battle royale. I actually had pretty good fun with Warzone with friends, but that's about it. Like with no friends, I just don't bother with this. And yeah, that's about it. But yeah, good game, loved it. Now we have Cold War. So this one's going in the bad pile, and the reason for that is, again, you brand the stinking name Black Ops in it, and I thought this was actual like true return to form. Like we got Black Ops 3 and 4, no Black Ops 5, none of this futuristic crap. It actually goes back to, Vietnam days or whatever. And when they announced it, they also said, hey, they're gonna introduce the whole story changing thing as well, like Black Ops 2. I was like, yes, finally. Yeah. Campaign sucked. Characters were forgettable. Maybe like the exception of one or two, but that's about it. Characters like Mason and Woods from Black Ops 1 and 2 were just completely crap in this one. Like they just didn't feel like the same characters. They also got different voice actors as well, if that bothers anyone. But yeah, it did, and it just didn't really feel like them anymore. It just felt like different characters and just nowhere near as good. What else is there? The missions were not bad. It had the sneaking around the embassy one, which is pretty good. Tackle the mission however you want. That was good stuff. Yeah, there was some variety in locations as well, which was good. And yeah, in terms of that choice thing with the story, yeah, none of that really matters, except like one decision near the end where it can change the ending. But the endings suck, and yeah, the other choices that you made really don't make that much of an impact. This also did have the side missions again, but these side missions weren't any good. So yeah, pretty disappointing. So that goes in the bad pile. Whilst they have multiplayer, and I did do the multiplayer again for the achievements, and forgettable. Just felt like traditional Call of Duty. Zombies. Yeah, the zombies in this one wasn't that great. Pretty small map. Definitely one of the easier Easter eggs to do, and yeah, that's about it. Not that memorable. Alright, next is the latest one, Call of Duty Vanguard. So since I played this recently, I got more fresh in my memory, and so I got a lot more to say about this. This goes in the absolute worst pile. Yeah, this is the worst Call of Duty game of any Call of Duty. Dead fucking serious. This is complete shit. So I didn't think it could get worse than Black Ops 3 with that sheer disappointment that I just felt playing it. But this game, fucking hell, everything about it is just bad. The campaign, let's start with the campaign. Worst campaign ever. Worst characters. Worst, terrible villains. Forgettable characters as well, should I say. They were trying to make this like similar to World War II. It's another World War game, again. Can't do anything with that. Boring as fuck. what I was saying, yeah. So I did the whole thing with the whole team dynamic, where you're with your trying to save the world with your buddies, and you could not give two shits about anyone in this team. Two of them, there's a team of 6. Two of them really do not matter at all, and the other 4 still forgettable. Like they just, I can't remember a thing about them. Yeah, they're just very stereotypical. That's all I can say about it. Okay, what else is there? So the campaign missions are just terrible and boring. Just pretty much basic. Go point A to point B, shoot a bunch of people. There's no stealth mission. There is some stealth, but the stealth is very just crap. That's all I could say. Where you're in a forest and you just gotta sneak past enemies. You don't have a silenced weapon or anything. You just gotta sneak past them or knife them. That sort of thing, and it's pretty basic. And yeah, what else is there? There's a plane mission. The variety of missions is the biggest problem here, and it's just so boring. There's a plane mission though, and it's terrible. It's probably the worst plane, like vehicle mission in any Call of Duty game because it controls like shit. It's similar to like Infinite Warfare where you do dogfights, but the controls are so floaty. It's so difficult trying to shoot a flipping plane down the sky, and it's just bad. This might be one of the worst shortest Call of Duty games. It has 9 missions, and yeah, they're crap. I mean, that's good for me because I prefer shorter games, as long as it's more compelling. And this one is good that it's short because I don't have to play it that much, so I can beat it a lot quicker. So the thing about this one, they tried to do about this one to add some sort of twist to the gameplay is to give each one of your teams different abilities. Like the leader, Arthur, can command people to shoot certain things, but they're distracted and you can take a shot on them. This only happens in certain areas, and that's really everyone else seems to play the exact same except for these few abilities that don't really change much, really. In fact, they don't really change a damn thing. And then you have the sniper Polina, who can use a knife to distract enemies, to distract snipers to to waste a shot so you can shoot them before they shoot you. I'm just getting bored talking about this, really. I'm sorry, but man, it's really that bad. Then you have the pilot, who has the weird ability of focus, who can see enemies through walls and also slow down time, and also automatically lock onto enemies, and when you kill an enemy, automatically locks onto the next one. For the pilot, how does the pilot have that ability when he's the least experienced in shooting? Like, he's the pilot. And then you have the demolitionist, who just carries more lethal equipment than anyone else. That's it. And he can also carry grenades that other people can't have, like dynamite and mines. Yeah, that's it. And all in all, terrible campaign, terrible characters, just terrible everything. Got the flippin' zombies as well. Worst fucking zombies. It's worse. Like, I thought Transit, it's probably other maps in Black Ops 2 that are probably bad, but in my opinion, Transit was the weakest map that I played. There's probably more, but that I've played though, this just tops it. This actually beats fucking Transit. This is the worst fucking zombies mode, because they give you one map, and this one map is not like traditional zombies. They actually changed it up, where you got like a hub area, and there's different portals around, and each portal has an objective you gotta do in it, where you teleport into a small area, and you have to just complete one of 3 objectives, which is to survive a wave of zombies, gather these stones or whatever that are dropped from zombies and place them in this sort of statue, and you have to do that 3 times. And then there's the transit one, where you just have to escort this floating head to the end while zombies are trying to kill you, and you can't leave this sort of bubble that surrounds it. And yeah, that's it, and that's how you extend the wave. That's how you progress the waves, by just doing these objectives, and it's extremely slow. And it just gets rid of all the. There's no Easter egg. There's no weapons on walls. There's no everything like all the traditional shit you see from zombies is just gone here. It's pretty much stripped down to the basics, like the bare basics. Even worse than fucking World at War. Like first map, I'm dead serious. It's actually worse than the fucking very first one. Yeah, like just find any video about Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies. All you can see is just that it's terrible. I'm dead serious. You cannot find a positive thing to say about it. It's multiplayer. I did not play that much of multiplayer. All I did was, I know there's like a lot of maps, and if the maps are good or not, that's objective, but all I did was I played what do you call it, Das House 24/7, which is basically 2 maps, like Shipyard and Das House, where it's a blitz game, which means a lot of people in a small map, and I just did that just so I can quickly rank up and get the achievements and get it, out of the way. So yeah, I didn't really play much else of the game. It just feels like, usual multiplayer where you got customization and shit, gunsmiths and all that. Just feels like similar to Cold War Modern Warfare, but with World War II type shit. And that's all I can say. Yeah, it's just really boring. It's terrible. Worst campaign. Worst zombies. Could not really care about multiplayer. Yeah, has the worst of everything. So that goes in my absolute worst pile. And I think I don't know if this was the final straw for everybody. Like, people are fucking pissed. So if people, it could, I don't know, hopefully Modern Warfare 2 would be great again like the first one. But who knows? After this Call of Duty Vanguard, I don't know, man. I don't know. Definitely not going to be playing another Call of Duty game for a while. So, yeah, that's my list. Yeah. Unfortunate how things managed to turn out. We had some great games at the start, then it just kept going downhill. So yeah, that's my list, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.